It's all new at 6 under President Trump's so-called Big Beautiful Bill. More than $80 billion in new funding is heading to ICE, allowing that agency to double in size. ICE will now become the predominant law enforcement agency in the country. It is also becoming one of the most controversial, with masked agents conducting wholesale raids.
But is it making us safer? This week, CBS News Miami's Jim DeFede spoke to the former acting director of ICE from the Obama administration. He learned more about ICE's tactics and its future.
ICE's capacity to arrest is a fraction of the undocumented population. And what a lot of the men and women at ICE recognize that. And what they believe is we should focus first on the worst. Let's get the worst first. Let's get those serious criminals off the streets first. Then we can pivot, to the larger population. Unfortunately, things are working backwards right now. We got the agency pulling agents away from criminal investigations, pulling agents away from those child exploitation cases, and saying your top priority is to get large numbers of arrests in the Home Depot parking lot. When you do that, you're diminishing public safety. And like I said, recognizing that the agency really does have limited resources, you're saying you're basically prioritizing those non-criminal populations before you get those bad guys.
But I think part of the strategy that the White House has, I'm not saying that on the street ICE agents necessarily have this policy. I think it's Tom Homan's policy. I think it's Stephen Miller's policy, is to create fear, to terrorize communities in the hopes of getting people to flee, to go deeper into the shadows, or to self-deport, as they like to phrase it. So in a way, I see ICE as being used as an instrument of terror to create that fear, to try to get rid of people through that means, as well as physically actually rounding them up. Do you disagree?
Yeah, I don't want to say it's becoming an agency of terror, but I absolutely think, and I don't think the administration would, tell you this is a secret, right? I think they're pretty open about it. Absolutely. I do think that part of the strategy is to create fear and uncertainty in the immigrant population in order to drive self-deportations. Look, Stephen Miller and Tom understand that ICE's resources are limited and that they can't deport all 12 million people in 4 years. It's impossible. So I think you're right. I think a lot of the strategy here of the administration is a self-deportation strategy to put the immigrant communities under tremendous pressure in order to encourage people to drive them home. Part of that is creating a sense that you're not safe wherever you go, whether that's your work site, lifting the sensitive location policy that restricted ICE agents from doing operations in churches or hospitals. All of that, I could not agree with you more. Even these detention facilities like Alligator or Alcatraz, where there, or deportations El Salvador. All of that is designed to encourage people to self-deport in recognition of the fact that ICE doesn't have the resources to deport everyone who's in this country.
And you can watch the full interview with John Sandweg this Sunday morning at 11:30 on Facing South Florida.